Hey, Wedding Pro, welcome to the Book More Weddings with Wed Hustle pod with me, Joey.
And me, Matt. We're both wedding pros and we work together in, quite frankly, the most kick-ass band around.
That's not a lie. We also have over 20 years combined experience in sales, marketing, and the wedding industry. And we're here to bring our knowledge and experience to you so you can level up your wedding business today.
In each episode, we're going to focus on a different element of running a successful wedding business to help you grow and succeed in this really competitive industry.
We aim to cut through the noise and have some fun along the way. Remember, head to wedhustle.com for our free resources and downloads to help you dominate.
So in this episode, we're going to focus on how to convert a wedding lead fast. We've got 5 key points that we're going to go over, and they really are what we feel the most important parts of how to get leads converted quickly and make more bookings, basically.
Yeah, man. Speed is the name of the game today. I guess before we jump into the tips, I mean, why is it important, Matt, for somebody to want to get that inquiry over the line as quick as possible?
Oh, there's so many reasons. I mean, essentially, when somebody's inquired, they are on the job of finding whatever it might be, photographer, band, florist, you name it. That's what they've chosen as the thing to do at that moment. People are busy nowadays. People are so busy, and we all know what it's like. You've got an interest in buying something, you ask some questions online, the call doesn't come in till the next day or the day after. It's like, well, not now. I'm not interested. You've moved on to something else. So it's really key to catch people when they're at it. But they'll go away and find somebody else if you're not quick. You'll lose that business. They're not going to inquire and then sit there and wait for you to get back.
So we've got somebody, we've caught them in the net. We're starting to speak to them. What's the first tip? What's the first way, the first thing we can do to start pushing them over the line as quick as possible?
The key thing you need to do right from the get-go is create urgency. And I guess this is the same as responding quickly, because they might look elsewhere. That might happen as well if they, you've responded to them, you've had a chat, but there's no urgency there. They're like, oh, I can take my time. There's no need to worry about this. They're still going to look elsewhere and find other things. So you need to literally from the get-go make them realize that if they don't book you now, they're going to miss out.
Sure. So there's loads of different ways of creating urgency, I guess, because from my marketing head, I'm sometimes thinking even before the inquiry. We talk about creative urgency or implied urgency with things like your socials looking busy and things like that is kind of how you get across the fact that, like, I'm busy, I'm going to get booked if you don't pull the trigger now. So there's that side of things. I mean, what are the different ways we can actually create urgency with the client when they're speaking to us?
That's so true. I mean, you can, when you mention socials, then, if you're letting people think that or see that you're really, really busy before they've even inquired, they are already aware that they've got to act quickly. Sure. And then when you respond to them immediately, there are so many little subtle things that you can put in there.
Come on, hit me with the bangers, man.
You want
what
some,
are the
don't you?
Tips and tricks?
Hey, that's our last Saturday for next summer that's available. Or 2024 is filling up, but that date's still available. Just these little lines. And what I find is by not focusing on that line so much, you're almost you're mentioning it in passing. The client hears it, sees that point, but you're not stressing it home, so that you've moved. If they feel that they've done well to spot that, I've spotted, they're busy. Does this make sense?
I think that we speak to wedding pros all the time. We do in our group when we're helping other wedding pros kind of level up their business. And one thing people are always worried about when they're talking about urgency is coming across way too salesy. But the way you've described it just then is like, if you do it subtly and cleverly, you can still get the same effect across without coming across too pushy, can't you?
That's so true. I mean, I think I say it to everybody that I speak to in the industry. It's like, no one gets into this industry to do sales.
Sure.
We love the wedding industry because we love what we do. We're passionate about what we do. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, it's part, sales is part of it. You've got to sell what you do to people. And no one wants to be a salesperson in this, what we notice a lot of the time. So by doing these subtle things, and also you're not being a salesperson, you're just advising people, hey, look, I am popular, I am busy, I am good. If you want me, then you need to act fast.
Sure.
There's nothing salesy about that. It's, you're stopping the client who's interested in you, they've inquired, missing out.
Yeah,
You know,
you're helping them. You're doing a
yeah,
nice thing. What lovely
totally,
human beings we are out there.
totally.
Wicked, man. All right, create urgency, epic. All right.
But with the agency thing as well, it's about being fast, being quick. You know, we've already said that we're converting leads quite quick, we're responding quickly, all these things. So how you respond is really, really important. And we kind of, I'm not going to say we invented this, we developed this, but something that we sort of came up with together. It was a lot of your idea was how to converse with people quickly, wasn't it? So our point number 2 is we've put converse in real time. But what do we mean by that, Joey?
Well, here's the thing, man. Me as a human being and other people out there, I don't want to speak on the phone anymore. Well, depends. I definitely don't want to speak to people on email or whatever. I'm all about instant messaging, Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp, whatever it might be. And we have found this is such a killer way of not just converting inquiries in general, but doing it quickly. People are used to responding this way. And the amount of back and forth you can have on WhatsApp, in Instagram DMs, on Facebook Messenger is insane. I mean, you've seen it, man. The difference is night and day, isn't it?
Oh, you can convert inquiries. Like, I mean, you know, I used to talk about a 1-day conversion and how, you know, you convert somebody within 24 hours. As soon as we started doing the messenger thing, you know, we're talking hours, dare I say minutes to convert an inquiry. You know, it can be so fast. If somebody inquires there and then, they're on Messenger and you respond immediately, it's like an online chat, but better than that, because once they've left the website or whatever, that, you know, and got about their day, you can still ping a message to them. So it's instant.
It's about, like, you know, the sales process. I think a lot of wedding pros, we speak to them as well, is they overcomplicate and unnecessarily lengthen their sales process, and it gives them too many chances to lose that lead or lose the inquiry. But having someone be able to speak to you on WhatsApp or on Instagram or Facebook Messenger, it's so easy and so straightforward for them that you can hit back and forth. Like, if you imagine all those conversations, if they were emails each, that would be 20 emails back and forth, which is not going to happen. That could be weeks or months worth of back and forth, but you can do that on Messenger within a few minutes. It's absolutely huge.
Yeah, totally. And I think, you know, you mentioned straight away, you don't like doing emails, you don't like phone calls. Like, no one answers the phone nowadays. You know, it's so no one wants to speak on the phone. Again, we're avoiding that sales process idea because people don't like it. And a phone call is often a sales, you know, it's that old school method of phoning someone up straight away. They ain't going to answer nowadays. Like, people aren't interested. No. Emails generally get left till the end of the day, you know, because they're a bit more lengthy until people have got time to sit down. People message all the time. You know, if that pops up, a little notification saying they've got a message, be it WhatsApp, be it Messenger, they will deal with it and it'll take priority over everything else on their phone, you know. So you cut through all the other things that are there. If they've got a bunch of other quotes from other people or emails, whatever, but then you ping a message, you're going to get read first. Yeah. So it just keeps things moving really, really fast, really quickly. And I feel people are more chatty.
Yeah, because they're used to it in their day-to-day, man. Yeah. Like, emails are way too formal as well. It's that you can actually have a proper conversation with people. So if you're listening, wedding pros, it's up to you to start directing your traffic and your inquiries into these methods so you can convert them quicker and convert them better. I guess, Matt, once we get them into Messenger, once we get them into WhatsApp, Instagram, what are we doing? What are we saying to them? How do we get them moving forward? Basically, what's tip number 3 here, dude?
We get them excited. We create excitement. We build up. You want my target my goal when I'm speaking to a potential client that's messaging, I want the hairs in the back of their neck sort of tingling and they're thinking about their day. You want them getting emotional. You want them to invest in everything you're saying, not just here's a price. This is what we do. Tick, 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 tick. Yeah. You want to describe what you're doing with excitement yourself. So, and these tips relate to sort of whichever way you're communicating with people. So if it is an email, you describe in that email and you make things exciting. If it is a phone call, you build up the excitement and you get people, you know, enjoying what you're saying. Let's assume it's Messenger, because our last tip was saying get people into Messenger or WhatsApp, you know, so you're building a conversation that is descriptive and exciting and fun.
So if you're a wedding photographer, for example, dude, like, let's say normally you'd be like, I cost this much, I'll take this many photos, I'll give you this USB stick, I'll do whatever. Instead of saying that kind of stuff, which is basically listing the things you'll get, what should we be saying instead, or filtering in to to get those hairs standing up on the back of the neck, like you said.
There's so many things, and I think being relatable with it as well. So an example I gave to a photographer last month was, if the venue that the client's got, the venue, that's a big advantage. And you can say, oh, well, I did a shoot there not long ago, and there's a really cool picture you can take by this bit, because they've seen the venue. Describe a picture and describe it with passion, and sort of, let's say, get across, send them the picture. If you're a photographer, it's like, look at this one, and they'll see it and they'll picture themselves there and just be like, yeah, I want that photo on my wall. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Give them that feeling. Because if you're up against however many other photographers or whoever that they're speaking to, if you're the one that got them excited, got them feeling like passionate, like you said, hair standing up on the back of the neck, they're going to remember that, aren't they? And yeah.
Totally. And you know how the easy way to get excited, or to get a client excited about what you're saying, is get excited yourself. And again, we talk about, no one's in this industry to be a salesperson, but you are in this industry most of the time because you love what you do and you get excited about it. You don't see many wedding suppliers unhappy with what they're doing. That's why we love this industry. But if you're talking about photography, if you're talking about flowers, if you're talking about planning, if you're talking about a ceremony, whatever it might be, you're excited about it yourself. And if you get excited when you're talking about it, and that comes across in a message, don't feel because it's text in or email, that excitement does come across. So get excited yourself.
Wicked, man. Yeah, let's create a buzz. Let's do this thing.
Damn right. This is, people are planning the happiest day of their lives, so let's go with them on it. Let's go with them on the journey.
Something that you told me a while back is that people, they actually want to be sold to. They want the process. They want to feel excited, and they're hunting that down. So you need to be able to give that to them.
They're not.
Go on, dude. Yeah.
They're not like booking a hotel room or, buying some stationery.
Totally.
Although some people get excited about stationery, let's be fair about it.
And it depends on the type of stationery, man. The king of all stationery, the laminator. You know what I mean? You know the reference there, man. If you're buying that, you got to get excited. Anyway, right. Tip number 4, man. Like, I'm interested to hear your thoughts about this because there's differing opinions on it. What are your thoughts on, if we want to get someone over the line quickly, discount or not discount? Do we cut a bit off the fee to try and get them over the line? What do we do here?
If I just said to you now, no discounts, what would happen?
Well, there's the thing. Yeah.
That's killed the vibe, hasn't it? That's totally killed the vibe.
Kill.
And that's what'll happen. You'll kill the vibe if you say no discounts, Hey, look, we're all worth what we charge. We don't just make up a figure and say this is the figure, so we are all worth. However, let's face it, there are times, would you take a little bit less money for a booking on a Wednesday in November?
Of course, man. Yeah.
What else are you doing?
It's all circumstance, isn't it? It definitely is. I think you guys listening or watching right now will know, like, times where it comes up where it's like, this is so convenient. Like, I should absolutely be getting this in. Or it's local. I like the venue. The client's really nice. So I'm working along suppliers. There could be a multitude of reasons why you think I really want to get this in. And it can be worth shaving just that little bit off to get that booking in, keep the client happy, get it moving quickly, because the day is not going to be as intensive maybe as some of the other days you might be booking in. So
yeah, that's exactly it. I think it might be worth making a mental list for yourself as to, what will make it easier for you. You mentioned a venue that you know that the load-in's really easy, or that the staff are really good and you'll be really well looked after, and you might have a friend that works there, whatever it might be, the date, off-peak dates. I mentioned a Wednesday in November. If you don't do everything you can to get a Wednesday in November, then you don't need.
What else are you doing? You're gonna be sitting at home watching Netflix, so you may as well.
Exactly, that's it. So things like that, or it might even be that it's a venue that you've not worked at, but you want to work at. If it's somewhere that you've seen and you think, yeah, I really could do with a gig there. So there are times to give a discount, but also if you've invested time speaking to the client.
Yeah.
And you think by not just shaving off a small portion of what you offer is going to potentially lose you the booking, then that's kind of double waste of time. Why bother in the does that make sense?
And there's a cost for the lead as well, depending on how you've gathered it, right? However you've invested into getting the leads to begin with. So absolutely,
that's exactly it. And you've seen, and sometimes if they're asking for a discount, they're only asking to be cheeky. And to be honest, you could probably say no and they might still book.
I love watching you say no to people, man, because I know you've judged it perfectly, where you're just like, when it's the opposite way around, where it's not it is a busy day. We'll get booked elsewhere and that kind of thing. And like you said, they're only asking to ask because it's the done thing. You're like, actually, we can't. There's no wiggle room. It's like, oh, it's fine. We'll go ahead anyway. It's like, hey.
And that these things will happen, and and if it's a Saturday in summer that you're going to get another booking, why would you, lower your price at all? No, exactly. However, if you think that by taking £50 off gets you the booking, I think do it, and that person, or if you, give them, get something back in return. So if they want a discount, say, yeah, I can knock you £100 off if you book today.
That's the way to do it, man. That's the way to do it.
Full circle, converting leads fast, is, if it means that things happen quicker rather than back and forth all week, and you get it in the diary there and then, throw that one at them.
Guys, write that one down, listen to it, do whatever you do. If you're going to offer a discount, put a time scale in it, make them pull the trigger, like this is today only. And like,
dare I say that, I nearly forgot that tip as well, and that's the one that's got you most excited.
Yeah, well, I think it's just a kill away, guys. You need to be trying this out 100%. Okay, yeah, let's move on. Let's move swiftly on to tip number 5, man. What's the thing to do if someone, it's the common thing where they're trying to book, we want to get them over the line fast, and then they say, I need to chat with my partner. Could you hold the date for a couple of weeks whilst we check some things out? What do you say?
This is a pretty short tip, really. There's no thinking about this. Don't hold dates.
No, the only way they have the date is if they book, right?
That's exactly it. That's it. The admin, sometimes baffles me, the admin of having to like pencil mark dates in.
It's always a pencil, isn't it? Can you pencil us in for that? Yeah. It's like, yeah, pay the deposit.
And that's it. You're in then. It's with a proper biro. You're in the diary. It's sorted. Yeah. But yeah, it's the admin that's created in holding a date is crazy. It means that you've kind of, who else has asked for that date? Is there a list of people that are holding that date? And then when somebody else inquires, what do you do if someone inquires and says, I want to pay a deposit right now? Oh, you're perfect. Oh, I've penciled somebody else in. I need to chase them up. They don't respond. That other person that you promised that you'd pencil it in for, are you going to turn away the person that's ready to pay? I mean, I hope not.
Yeah. Man.
So then why are you penciling things in? Now, when somebody does ask you to hold a date, I'm saying don't hold dates. So don't hold the date, but use that line that they've said as here's a bonus tip for people now. This is, you can say, I can't hold dates, but I'll let you know if somebody else inquires for it. That's one line I use.
So what is that? Does that give you like an avenue or excuse for a follow-up? Is that the idea?
Yeah. I mean, 24 hours later, I'm contacting them and saying somebody interested in that date. By the way, that's not always true.
But dude, that brings us back around to tip number 1, because you're also creating urgency whilst doing that, right?
That's exactly it.
Yeah,
that's exactly it. And the other approach creates even more urgency when they say, can you hold the date? I've already got a couple of inquiries on that date. So I can't hold it because there's already 2 other people that are interested. And again, when we talk about not wanting to be salesy, there are ways of playing that so it's not as pushy. It's not pushy, but I've got a couple of inquiries. They've not spoken to me much for a while, so I don't know how serious they are. If you feel that you need to play it down a little bit, things like that can help.
Sure.
But yeah, just keep a blanket. I can't hold dates.
Yeah.
Don't worry about all the other bits around it. But I think there are circumstances, there are scenarios when you may need to just be a little bit more lenient on that one. I think venues sometimes need to face this. At the end of the day, it's moving things around because the client might need to arrange their celebrant or the registry office or the church or whatever, thing like that. So, the caveat here is there are some situations where you might need to do that, but 9 times out of 10, and for the most suppliers, just don't do it.
Don't be holding those dates. Wicked, man. This is the way to be speedy. I feel like Sonic now. I'm going to be running so fast and getting these inquiries over the line. Hope you guys listening and watching will be doing too. Let's just recap, I guess, on the tip. Yeah. So we're going to be converting these wedding leads as fast as possible. Tip number 1, create urgency with everything that you do, even implied urgency beforehand.
From the get-go.
Yeah,
tip number 2, converse in real time. Don't sort of do long emails or anything like that. Get back quickly. What we mean by that, Messenger, WhatsApp, whatever it might be. Funnel people into those systems and speak quickly.
Yeah, dude. Tip number 3, create excitement. Like you said, hair standing up on the back of the neck. Get excited yourself when you're speaking to couples. It will come across absolutely.
and controversially offer a discount. If it's going to get that booking in by offering a discount based on the fact that you do it quickly, or for a date or a scenario where you might want to try and get the booking in, just offer a small discount and it'll get you bookings.
Every little helps, man. And tip number 5, don't be holding those dates. Make them book. If they want the date, they've got to book you. Push them over the line. Do the thing. Be confident, guys. Be excited when you're selling and do the thing. Wicked stuff. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, like, do the thing to stay up to date with all future releases. If you're listening on podcasts, leave a review, like it, make sure you follow it. Head to the website for some free stuff. Guys,
free stuff.
Downloads. Oh, you can't deny free stuff. It's amazing. You can get some free, awesome stuff. And then what if the people want to get in touch with us, man?
So I believe there are links in the bio, in the write-up, in the description. I don't know what this all means.
If I've done my job properly, there'll be links. If I haven't,
there will be links there. Get in touch, drop us a message, send us an email, go over to our website, wedhustle.com, and you can join us in our Facebook community, Book More Weddings with Wed Hustle. It's full of wedding professionals sharing advice, sharing stories. Hey, there's even some memes in there. But you can get to us directly in there as well. So if you dropped a question, not only do you get the whole community helping out, but we'll jump on and we'll answer and get involved. So yeah, let's see you in there.
Wicked. All right, guys, until next time, peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.